hate crocheting. Crazy. Everybody that I've seen online with like neurodivergentness have loved crocheting, and I came into this video which is with the full intent of loving crocheting. This was going to be a video about how good I can get at crocheting in 24 hours, like total time of crocheting 24 hours, and I've spent that much time like crocheting, but I've done absolutely nothing with it. I've learned that I find it tedious. Let's play some clips of me crocheting, because I have the clips.
How you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because
there are some reasons why I think that if you're looking into crocheting, why it might not be the hobby for you. Number one, crocheting is time consuming. I knew that it was time consuming, but for me it's something that's hard to put down and come back to and know exactly where you left off on. I find that a little tedious and annoying. Personally, I don't have a lot of patience for stuff. Let me give the example of my hobbies, which are painting and drawing, where I feel like painting and drawing, I can like take a step back and it'll be okay and I can come back to it, or I can power through and finish whatever project I'm doing. Well, crocheting, I don't feel like I can do that with, which leads me to the second reason why crocheting might not be for you, is for the fact that crocheting is very mundane. Like, I had YouTube playing, I had like videos playing, movies playing while I crocheted, I was watching anime, and yet I still didn't feel stimulated enough to want to continue crocheting. That's crazy, because like art, I'd paint while watching YouTube, I paint while watching anime, and I feel perfectly stimulated because there's always something else that I'm doing, I guess. I'm always having to mix colors or think about what order in which I want to lay out colors, because I mostly use gouache and watercolor, and sometimes I use acrylic, so you have to be kind of strategic with how you build up your color. But with crocheting, it was just sitting there going like the and that's fine. I get it. That's like crocheting. That's the point of crocheting. But I know this is probably just because I don't have the tool to keep it from. Wait, I'm jumping ahead. Oh, this is how angry that crocheting has made me. I wanted to like it. Why couldn't I have liked it? I just found it really boring to do. And the counting was really hard because you were supposed to count your stitches, and I got so tired and so boring, and I feel like I've mentioned it in every video lately, ADHD. I have a really hard time sitting there counting the stitches. It was awful. It felt so tedious. And I guess I'll move on to the third reason. Oh my goodness, I'm making my face red. Move on to the third reason, which is probably from the lack of the appropriate tools. It hurts my hands. Granted, I don't know what's wrong with my hands or my joints. Mostly my hands. My hands tend to hurt when I do anything that causes too much like tension in my hands. When I used to work at a coffee shop, whenever I would shake the blenders, my hand would start to cramp and lock in the position I'm shaking the blenders. And like that, like doing that motion, because you have to hold your hand stiff when doing it, would cause like so much joint pain in like here and in my knuckles. In a similar way, when I crochet, I had the yarn hooked around my finger, which lately I've seen that they sell rings that you can hold, so maybe you don't have to do that, maybe you can just... But I would hook it around my finger, the yarn around my finger, take my crochet hook and wrap it, and then go phoop and phoop. Right? You know what I'm talking about? If you've done crochet, you know what I'm talking about. If you're here looking for a reason not to do crochet, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But like to keep the string tight, I had to wrap it around my finger once and like kind of keep it tight. This would cause the finger to be in an immense amount of pain here after like 40 minutes of doing crocheting, which is not a lot of time apparently, because I barely get anything done in 40 minutes. And it's just a lot of tension, and I just couldn't do it with this hand and in this hand. My boyfriend was so sweet and got me an ergonomic little handle that's supposed to be thicker, because he knows that I have a lot of joint issues, and I was really excited to dive into this new hobby. I mean, ADHD, bro, I can get into almost any hobby and enjoy it for at least a month before I like drop it and say I'll come back, and then it's kind of if I come back. But this one I just couldn't, my hands couldn't outlast what I was doing with like the crochet hook and my finger, and it was hurting, and I had to hold the fabric also in place, so it was like, and it makes me really sad that has to be a reason for me. But if you have hand problems like I do, and I'd love to get that checked, but America and insurance, and I don't want to get into politics. I just can't afford to get it checked where I am in life right now. But yeah, so that was, I don't remember what number that was. That was another reason why I didn't like crocheting. Another reason why I didn't like crocheting was that people online made it seem like it was a faster process to make things than it was. I'm not trying to make any stuffed bees or anything, so I don't really want to make stuffed animals, because like I have enough stuffed animals, and I don't really want to like, I don't know, I wanted to see if I can make like granny squares or clothes or blankets out of yarn, but and how I was sewing, it took me like 4 hours to get like this much. Like if I was doing a scarf, I got like this much. 4 hours. But people online do not describe that, and I've watched tons of crocheting content, and they've said, yeah, it takes a bit, and I severely underestimated what a bit was, because oh my goodness, I sat there and I went at it, and I tried to go as fast as I can, and I got really good at going pretty quickly. I thought I was going pretty quickly, but yet it took so long to just get so little, and maybe I was just doing the stitches too tight. But if I didn't do okay. Next reason also, and hand in hand with this one, if I didn't do the like little knots tight enough, I didn't do them evenly. I don't know how people do loose knots evenly, and I think that's a skill I could have probably learned over time of crocheting. I just learned, I guess, that the hobby wasn't for me. So if you're like me, you're impatient, you have like hand problems, and you don't have a lot of time to spend learning a craft like this, maybe crocheting isn't for you. And that's why I don't like crocheting. Not to say it's bad at all. I think it's amazing that the people that can crochet, like, I'm mad jealous. But maybe crocheting isn't for you, and that's okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. This was not the video I intended on making, but was the video I ended up making. If you'd like me to try a hobby that you're interested in and want to try, let me know, and I'll try it for 24 hours, and I'll let you know what I think in the video. Comment it down below. While you're commenting, maybe like and subscribe. This is Skyschance here, saying sky's never the limit, never give up, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. I still don't know where to point. Bye!